What up, it's your boy Roy Jones Jr. Right now you're checking out LinealBoxing TV with Bertie. Don't miss it, the man is fantastic. He even tell you about, I mean look, he got the best looking guy ever boxed, the best fighter power ever, right here.
Steve Bird, LinealBoxingTv with Team Fat Boy George Lamport. George, firstly, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, good. Great, even. Especially when someone interrupts your interview with a phone call.
Well, we're in slightly different surroundings today, normally at the gym.
Yeah, and today we're at my place of work, Union Ink Tattoo. Second oldest business in Aldershot. The oldest tattoo shop in Aldershot, owned by my boss, Dave. Yeah, it's a good place.
Well, obviously, you love your tattoos. How many tattoos do you have?
Close to 100. Close to 100.
We were just saying as well, probably the craziest thing I've heard anyone shout a boxing ring was twice at you. If you win, George, I'm going to buy you a new tattoo. And if you win, George, what was the other one?
I'll buy you a pizza. Probably the best ways to get me to win a fight. It's up there. I mean, obviously, like, man, I love getting tattooed. It's my thing. I've been getting tattooed ever since I was 14 years old. So
how did you start at Union Ink? How did that sort of like come about?
it's a weird story. I wanted to get into tattoos from getting into tattooing from about 16 years old. And I've been threatened by tattoo artists before when I asked for apprenticeships, which puts you off going for an apprenticeship. Because I remember, remember the one in Farnborough? It used to be called Tattoo Land.
Yes.
And it was owned by Dave Diamond. I went there for an apprenticeship once and I asked him. And he generally threatened me. He said, listen, if I catch you tattooing, I'll beat your head in. And I was like, listen, mate, you wouldn't beat my head in. Just get that straight. And then, you know, years rolled by. I focused on my boxing career. And I came there one day to get a tattoo by a friend of mine. And Dave just walked in and said, do you want an apprenticeship? Yeah, cool. And that was it.
So you're doing this full time as well now, yeah?
Full time as well, 6 days a week here as well. And it's good because I can work around my boxing career. So, and Dave's really cool with the boxing. I used to box in the army, so we get on great. And, you know, I get to focus on both. Boxing's now my passion project, you know what I mean? It's I can just enjoy it without the worry, stress of money. Because obviously in the business, you don't earn anything, believe it or not.
Tattooed any of the guys at Guildford?
Yeah, so my dad's probably been the main one. My dad's pretty much got half a leg sleeve since I've started working here that I've done. And Cheesman kindly offered himself up for me to work stuff out on. And he's ended up with two really cool tats. And I've got his brother's wife in here tomorrow, so sister-in-law in here tomorrow.
I've actually seen some of your work as well. Really, really good. How did your apprenticeship work?
So basically, most tattoo apprenticeships, you don't start tattooing until like a year in, possibly. You got to do all the grunt work. But Dave was happy with the way I was progressing, let me tattoo, and it turned out really nice. And I'm a lot further than I should be along at the stage I'm at. I'm a lot further along than I should be, but you know, it's a passion for me and it's something I love. So I kind of got the gist of tattooing, watching so many get done, and Dave's a great teacher, so you know, it just works out.
How did you first? What sort of like inspired you to be like a tattooist as well? What was your first tattoo you thought, wow?
You know what? I watched Miami Ink a lot growing up when I was really young, and I loved that program. Since then, wanted a tattoo. Got my first tattoo on the bit cheeky, bit naughty when I was 14.
What was your first one?
Praying hands and boxing gloves on my back.
Okay, yes.
So it was boxing themed, and then I started watching Ink Master and all these other tattoo programs, and there was one that really clicked with me, and it was called Epic Ink, and the tattoo artist called Chris 51 and Chris Jones. It was over in America, and like it was all nerdy tattoos, and the shop had arcade machines, and I was like, dude, that's my job. That's what I want to be. Like, that is what I want to spend my life doing. And yeah, it takes such a hard industry to get involved into, but it's like anything like in my life. If I want to do it, I push hard at it, like the boxing. And yeah, now I'm here. And you know, it's been real good to get out of lockdown and to do something like this, because towards the end of lockdown, my mental health was really starting to struggle and waver. And you know, I was on the edge of like, do I want to box? Do I want to do this? But luckily, like, doing this has made me see, like, yeah, I love my boxing, I love this. So if I do both, then I'll always be happy, you know.
Just give you that sort of focus back.
Yeah, because obviously lockdown was hard on everybody, man. Oh. Especially me, I was injured pretty much all of lockdown. I had a terrible knee injury, I could barely walk. And to come out of lockdown, to start hitting the gym again and doing this. It's brilliant. And I like the takeaway of this because boxing and this are completely separate. I like coming out here completely switching off. I'm no longer George Lamport, professional boxer. I'm George Lamport, the tattoo artist. And then when I leave here, I'm George Lamport, professional boxer. I go to the gym, I do my thing. And yeah, just a complete, I like the things to be separate. You know, I like to switch off from tattooing, I switch off from boxing. It's brilliant.
You just got that balance right.
Yeah, it's all about that balance.
What's your tattooing style? I always ask everyone what's their fighting style, but what's your actual... Because the industry has changed, hasn't it? In 20 years, it's like a proper art form now, isn't it?
Yeah, do you know what, man? I'm practicing everything right now. I'm learning everything. My style, what I love to do, I love anime, so I like anime tattoos, but I also like American traditional style tattoos, neo-traditional, love all them because they're bright, bold, beautiful, and it's like timeless, you know? I tried realism yesterday, my first realism tat. It turned out super cool on my mate Ray Fox. He let me do it on him. Also owns Naked Beauty downstairs. Let me do that on him. So that was super cool of him to let me like practice, because you need friends to practice on, and super cool people obviously let me practice on them. And they've all turned out really good, so I can't complain.
That's always a bonus, isn't
it?
it?
Yeah. No one's had a knob drawn on him yet, so we're all good.
No tattoo fixers coming in yet, no?
No, we've had a few cover-ups. I mean, you showed me what you want covered up.
My mum doesn't know about that yet. Can you do it?
Yeah, of course we can. Of course we can save it.
Yeah, that's a bit of a Vegas bad decision, that is. So I woke up looking at that. They say things you do in Vegas, like what happens there stays there. This didn't stay.
If
there.
it makes you feel any better, man, I've woke up with some horrible tats. Don't worry about
What's
it.
the worst tattoo you've ever
I woke up with girls' names on me, man.
Oh no.
Yeah, in Harrogate and stuff like that. I went to Harrogate one night and it's got a girl's name tattooed on me. It's terrible. It's terrible life choices. Terrible life choices, man.
It's all part of the journey, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I had one. Do you remember Fatty Wap? Like that song, Trap Queen came out like 1738. I was in the club and I was like, yeah, this is a brilliant song. This is when I wasn't boxing. And I was like, this is a brilliant song, man. And I was partying with a tattoo artist. He said, come back to my studio. I tattoo better when I'm drunk.
Oh, that's never a good start.
So I woke up with a really sore ankle. And I said, you know, like the tagline of that song is 1738 tattooed across my ankle. And people go, what does it mean? I'm like, it's the year my family name started.
What's the best tattoo you've got?
Oh, dude, that's such a hard one because I've got so many cool tats. I mean, I've been tattooed all over the UK. Every tat I've had by Dave is super cool. I've been tattooed by my sleeve by Grant Mahoney is super awesome. Harry Hunter, who's tattoos in Wales, did my Rick and Morty tattoo. I have so many cool pieces, and you know, a lot of tattooists to thank for that. But yeah, I mean, probably my coolest tattoo would be, from my opinion, is probably my sleeve, because you know it's like Dragon Ball Z, Legend of Zelda, Mario, Pac-Man, Marvel. I've got Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I recently had it finished off, so I had my knuckles, game over on my knuckles, over in Northern Ireland at he used to work here, Steve Kabuki. Used to work here, and now he's got his own business in Ireland. I went there, got my knuckles.
No, Steve, he's got a little daughter, isn't he?
Yeah, so yeah.
He's a lovely guy.
Yeah, so I went over Ireland to see Steve and got tattooed by him there. It was super cool, super nice guy. Crazy.
What's the best tattoo in boxing?
Best tattoo in boxing? Well, the most notable one's got to be Mike Tyson's face tat, surely.
Gotta be.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the most recognisable one.
That tattooist must have been shitting himself doing that.
Dude, do you know what? Mike Tyson's that sort of guy. If I caught him in bed with my other half, I'd tuck him in. Yeah. And I go, did you have a good night?
Because I always remember like Miguel Kessler as well when I first saw him, and he was like the first one I ever saw. I was like, wow, he's like half his whole body was covered in tattoos.
Yeah, he had loads of tribal, didn't he?
Right,
Yeah, see, like, I'm not into that sort of style, but, you know, it is cool to see something like that. I think tattooing's such an acceptable thing now, that tattooed role models are a completely cool thing. Like, I think having your throat tattooed is super cool, you know. Unfortunately, the media, like, says, if you get someone silly with a throat tat, man with throat tattoo, Rob Zazda or something like that. But, you know, I think there's so many cool role models with tattoos now. And like throat tattoos makes it completely acceptable. You know, there's nothing wrong with having your throat tattooed. Nothing wrong with having your face tattooed. If you're a good person, then you're a good person. You know, me personally, I wouldn't get my face tattooed because, you know, I'm not into that like sort of that coverage. But, you know, will I get my throat tattoo? 100%. Will I get my neck tattoo? 100%.
You used to have to cover up all your, like, go for job interviews, you'd have to cover up
Yeah.
your sleeves. And...
Yeah, that's like you never got your hand tattooed. That was a massive no-no. But now it's such a art form, and they passed a law where you can't discriminate against people with piercings or tattoos. But obviously people still do, you know. They're like, you didn't get the job because you weren't right, but really it's because you know, have a hand tat or a piercing or nose piercing, you know. Well, there's nothing wrong with them. It's pieces of art, as long as it's not offensive, you know. Like you can say to me, your Star-Lord tattoo on your hand's really offensive. Come on, man, like it's a comic book character, you know, kids love and look up to, like, not offensive.
What boxing tattoo would you love to do?
Do you know what?
Boxing.
Obviously, you know, I think the most iconic one the image that comes to my head I'd like to tat is Muhammad Ali over Liston. I think, you know, that's the most iconic image in boxing. I would like to do a Ricky Hatton one as well. That'd be quite cool because obviously Ricky Hatton's a massive British sort of, you know, fighter. Yeah, you know, tattoos are weird. I'm not, you know, I'd like to do like a complete. I like to tattoo me fighting on someone. You know, I think that'd be epic. Because I've actually got a self-portrait of myself tattooed on me because I want a tattoo no one would get. So I got my own face.
You never know.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could rock up here tomorrow and say, "Listen, George, I want a tattoo of you throwing that uppercut." I'd be like, "Yeah, cool."
It'd be better than my one, mate. I've got. I'll tell you that.
To be fair, we look quite alike, me and your tat.
How many tattoos do you get to do a day then, George?
Well, I can do as many as I've booked in a day. You know, I could do 30 little ones a day or 2 big ones a day. It's literally how booked we are and how much I guess I choose to do. At the minute, I'm only because I'm still sort of learning. I'm doing like 1 a day, if I can, 2 a day, on friends and family. But, you know, I could, you know, tattoo 3 or 4 people a day if I really wanted to, man. It's that sort of industry where it's flexible, you know.
What's the biggest bit of work you've done so far?
Probably my dad's half leg sleeve. So I did a ship about that big on my dad, and then my dad's got the whole bottom half. He's got Popeye, Brutus, Sweet Pea the baby, and olive oil like going around his ankle. It's really cool, and I'm super proud of it. It looks super cool. Honestly, all my tattoos have turned out super cool so far. I'm really happy with them all. My cousin Liam, known as Chinless, has a Mr. Meeseeks from Rick and Morty. That, you know, stuff I like doing. Obviously, take that extra time to do because you want to get perfect. So you love it. But yeah, he's got super cool. We did a moth, like Silence of the Lambs theme moth on him the other day, and that turned out mega cool. Super pleased with that, and we're going to do Darth Vader tomorrow.
Oh wow!
Yeah, well, when this is posted, I've probably already done the Darth Vader, but as we're recording tomorrow, we're doing Darth Vader.
You have to send us some pictures of that, mate.
Yeah, it'd be super cool. Like, I love Star Wars. I got Star Wars tats myself, man. Like, I can't wait to do it, man. It's super cool. People don't realise, like, I'm a super nerdy guy. You know, because people go, you can't be a professional boxer and like cartoons. You can.
I do. Mandalorian, that'd be a good tattoo to get.
Oh, dude, Mandalorian's sick. I love that. You know what I can't wait for? Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Is that still happening?
That's still happening, man.
I heard it was getting shelved.
No, it's still happening. Okay. And it better happen, otherwise I'm done. I'm unsubscribing from Disney Plus. I'm calling for my money back. Yeah.
What, nice little Baby Yoda, would you tattoo that? Nice.
I'd tattoo Baby Yoda. Dude, Baby Yoda's cute as fuck.
So, let's go on to the boxing then. See, with this, you're doing this full time, are you?
6 days a week here, and I go training and stuff when I can.
Yeah. How's the training been? Like, obviously with your injury, is it still okay?
I'm on the comeback now, training. My knee is fine. Unfortunately, I got ill this week. Not corona. I had the test. Just a cold, and it instructed me for training this week. But I'm getting back into it now. I'm starting to burn off those lockdown pounds.
Yeah, it's been hard, isn't it? Lockdown, like you said. Did you suffer badly with it?
At the start, it was much needed time off.
Yeah.
Then halfway through, I started to take a massive slump, and it's hard, man, to go through stuff like that. Especially as well, it's who you can trust, as well. Like you find out who your real friends are during lockdown, because believe it or not, I had one so-called friend who was slagging me off because I started working here, because apparently it's all jealousy because my friend wants to be a tattoo artist. Oh, she's not my friend anymore. Wants to be a tattoo artist and was jealous that I work in a tattoo studio, and she started slagging me off. And when your friends are slagging you off and you're already like at a low mental place, it's fucking awful, dude. Like I would never attack someone like that. Like if you're my friend and you said, listen, I want to be a tattoo artist, and I am a tattoo artist, I'd like, listen, this is how you get in the industry. You've got to keep pushing this and pushing that and draw this and draw that. Instead of doing that, she took some low digs, and I'll do what I want to do in life. I'm not going to work to live, or live to work. Sorry, I want to work to live, and so by doing stuff I enjoy, that's how I achieve that. I didn't want to work in the city anymore, so I stopped working in the city. I was earning great money for the Bank of America. Stopped working in the city, came here, started my professional boxing career. Professional boxing doing brilliant. I wonder what else I'd like to do, because money's hard to earn in professional boxing. I'll become a tattoo artist, walk in the tattoo studio. I'd never look back working from here. I love it here. It's like my home away from home, man. It's my chill out zone.
You got any fights lined up? What's the actual score with that?
So I'm looking at Channel 5 in November. So that's what I've heard last time. So yeah, I'm hoping to get out then. I mean, if not then, I'm probably looking at the new year, which would be horrible. Obviously, I only had one fight this year, and that's just a horrible thing to do, because you've got to approach your sponsors only having one fight in a year for the new medicals and to cover this cost, cover that cost. But that's life, man. The world's been frozen for a year.
Going back to your fight at Aldershot, what a crazy year we've had. You had a great fight then, didn't you? And you just had enough fight lined up, and then the world just stopped.
The world just froze still, man. And it's horrible, because I'm on the cusp of fighting for an English title or British title, and
the momentum you had.
And just dead.
Carpet got pulled.
Yeah, as if the world stopped revolving. I was frozen in time. But listen, that's the way the world works, man. And will I come back? Yeah. Will I be stronger? Yeah. Will I be wearing a Power Ranger themed boxing kit? Yeah.
You're not, are you?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. Got to be Power Ranger themed. I did Dragon Ball Z. Super proud of myself. Gonna do Power Rangers.
Yeah. What's going to be your next walking song? You love a walking.
That's gonna be Go Go Power Ranger. Or if I don't, I'll do a Scooby Doo kit. I'll come out to What's the Scooby Doo? We're coming after you. Being a character is really hard to do, because it either comes across as cringy, or like just completely like false. I'm quite lucky where I'm naturally sort of a character. I'm sort of Jack the Laddie in a real nerdy sense. But I think you just got to have that natural sort of crazy like thing about you, sometimes I see people interview, they're like stiff as wood, and I'm gonna do them in, and I'm just not about that. I talk nicely about my opponents, and because I've got nothing to
It's not personal, is it?
Yeah, it's not personal, man. We're just getting in the ring and having a tear up. After that, you're a cool guy. It's like Stemkowski, super nice guy before the fight. We were super nice to each other after the fight, super nice to each other. We still chat now and then on Facebook. I can't fault the guy, super cool. It's like Cheesman. I hate all this, I'll do you, I'll knock you out. Because it's just a load of bollocks at the end of the day, innit, man? It's just, I don't know, I think Cheesman's a good fighter, but...
He had a cracking fight the other night, didn't he?
The fight itself was brilliant.
Yeah.
Cheesman's going like that.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I thought that was a good performance. Obviously, you had to really dig deep.
I thought it was really tight performance, because it was, they were just having a tear up, and there's not many boxing skill to judge, because Egerton's a tear merchant, Cheesman tear merchant. But Cheesman, so easy to hit, so easy to frustrate. I think he's on a downhill climb like that. I think stick someone like me in front of him, I genuinely believe I have the beating of Ted Cheesman. Ted Cheesman might go, yeah, look at this wanker saying this and saying that. But, you know, I genuinely believe that. And, you know, fair play to Cheesman. He's achieved what he's achieved, you know, and you can't take that away from him. I'm sure he's a really nice guy. But as far as I'm concerned, I'd beat Ted.
And that would have to be a disciplined performance because he just wants to fight every second, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Just to try and drag you into that.
Yeah, and, you know, but it'd be, you know, the best way to say it, it'd be as close to when he fought that Spaniard as possible. Because that Spaniard just kept on the move, pop, 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 pop. And Cheesman had no answer.
And that's the blueprint, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hard to do though, isn't it?
Oh, it's harder to do, yeah. Especially with him walking it down, because Cheesman does not stop.
Yes. What do you think about Idris Vigo? Did you see that?
I've heard it floating around on Instagram of other boxing media companies like Big T, Uncle T, sorry, boxing, covering it. I haven't actually heard what was said.
So, cut long story short, he threw water over his first opponent, threw it over his face, and the second he was doing head-to-head with I think it was like a 7-0 journeyman.
Yeah.
It was called in the last minute. Again, he just dashed all his water in his face, and the guy was just
It's
like,
pointless. The guy's there to lose anyway. Like, why even
and that's the thing with journeyman. These guys are the lifeblood of the sport.
Yeah.
I've got so much respect for
And
journeyman.
don't annoy journeyman, because journeyman can turn like that.
You took the next point out of my mouth. What you don't realise, when you're new into your career, you may be 3, 4, 5 fights in, 75% of these journeymen could beat you.
Yeah, well, look at Jason Wellborn. He fought for a world title. He lost to William Warburton twice. And Warburton's hard as shit. I fought him. I couldn't knock that guy out if I was giving it everything. I couldn't knock that guy out.
And that's the thing, you just don't respect, you just don't disrespect these guys. These guys generally are there to help you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're there to put on a show, they're there to, and they try to fight as often as they can. Just don't disrespect them.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you don't want to upset as a journeyman, because they can put it on you.
They take you to Brown Town, man.
Yeah. What's the hardest fight you've had so far?
I said in the boxing news, Zigomantis Pavicius, who was my debut. I'll probably stand true to that, because Zigomantis is one of those who's a lot better than his record is. That guy can come and beat anyone, I think. 1-1, lost one, so he's 50-50 fighter at the time. He's journeyman now. Just coming off a win, and I saw him in the corner. That guy was like that tired wall. Like, his abs are unbelievable. And I looked at him. I went to John. I went, "Do you reckon we could look like that?" Just like across the room. "Do you reckon we could look like that?" I was like, "He looks good. Yeah, he looks good." And obviously, it was at middleweight, so you know, not my natural weight. But we turned it up. We looked good while we did it. Yeah, it's probably my hardest fight technically, because he was quite awkward. My last fight, I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Irish guy from County Derry. He was awkward because he's about 6'3" He's like in there, and he had like these weird shoulders. Yeah, and he was just weird. Like, look, he's like neck like that. I was like, what's going on? But he was also a super nice guy outside the ring, and I rocked him a few times. And it's just getting it down. Was focus on building up. You know, the power's starting to come through. My adult strength is starting to come through. Because I'm 23 now, coming on 24. So.
Is there anyone else you're sort of keeping your eye on in the division, or?
Nah, to be honest, when I'm not boxing, I don't really follow it. I'll get in the ring with anyone. I've always said that, you know. And I've always been the same. I couldn't care if you've got 4 legs and 17 arms. You know, I'll get in there with you and have a tear up. That's no problem. And that's the way you've got to be. Why should I worry about anyone? They've all got 2 arms and 2 legs, man. You know, I'm not saying some people aren't sublimely brilliant. Like my new stablemate, Senior Byfield, you know. He's got 2 arms, 2 legs at the end of the day, man. So, you know, you got to get in the ring with anyone. And a senior would do that. A senior will get in the ring with anyone. 2 arms, 2 legs. Because that's the best way to be, man. Win, lose, or draw. You know, at least you go out and say, I fucking gave it a go.
So lastly, anything you want to finish on, George?
Yeah, come by Union Inc., come by Guildford City.
Guildford City and Union Inc. You could set up a little tattoo bit in the ring as well, couldn't you? You could do like A sponsored tattoo in the ring.
Yeah, so yes. So again, my face.
What boxer at Guildford do you like to tattoo the most?
Well, I've tattooed Ches. Super cool. I like to tattoo Darren Cadona because we're really close. The one person I want to tattoo most is John Edwards. I'd love.
Tattoos?
No, I love to tattoo John Edwards, Lenny Fletcher, and Casey. That'd be the ultimate day.
What would you give him?
Just Team Fat Boy on every single one of them. That'd be the best.
George, on that note, always great catching up with you. What a character. I'll do a little video of this place and come and check him out.
Yeah, cheers, man.